because everything we talked about learning, but it's also very physical. Studies have been done. Being a dancer is being an athlete. There have been studies done on athletes, including dancers, as far as who are the most physically fit. And dancers are at the very top of that consistently. Dancers have physical stamina, they have cardiovascular health, they have strength, they have flexibility, they have coordination. All of these skills are built into the actual physicality of dancing. And in order to be a dancer, you have to be an athlete and an artist.
All right, thank you. That answered my question.
Okay, thank you very much. Okay, thank you. I love what he said. He said something. I don't know if he heard it. He said the dance has helped his daughter in our academy. So that is why he's doing it as a gift for her to participate. So do you understand? So it does not distract the child at all. So in fact, it helps the child to be better because of the memorization skills, because of it makes them focus. So do we get that? Thank you. So do we have other question? Question. Please unmute. Tell us where you're calling from and ask your question.
All right. Thank you, Juliet. Good evening, everyone. My name is Faith. I'm calling in from Abuja. My daughter attends Goodness Ballet School. Thank you, Ms. Deborah, for making this more elaborate. I enjoyed your session. In fact, actually enrolled my daughter on this year to ballet school because I wanted her to learn a skill, like a dancing skill. And it dawned on me, my husband asked me, that was last month, he asked me, why is Harmony going to ballet school? What benefit is it to her? And I didn't have a response, you know. I didn't have a response. And he said, okay, that this session is going to be coming. And Deborah is going to be giving us the benefits of being a ballerina. And I'm happy she did justice to that. At least I've picked that. So my question was, what is the benefit of learning ballerina? You know, what's the benefits of putting your child in ballet school? I've learned discipline, yeah. So the discipline part, and it can be a career path, being a teacher or being a dancer. But my question now boils down to the career path. In our Nigerian system, does the ballet school work? How is there, I don't know, is there an organization? Is it recognized? So maybe you can throw more light to it, okay? So that I can have an actual answer to give my husband. But thank you, Deborah, for stating that discipline part, coming to ballet early. I was telling my daughter, you have to go to ballet school early. Yes, and being able to achieve your goals. That's very important, staying true. Thank you so much, Deborah. I do appreciate it. So my question is ballet, is there a career path for ballet in Nigeria? Because I don't plan to japa. Yes, I can go and come back. Do you get? But if I don't take my daughter outside there, would that mean there won't be any career path for her in Nigeria? So teachers, Deborah, the floor is yours. Thank you. So who wants to answer my question? Yeah.
Okay, yes, thank you. Let me answer and I will give Patricia room to answer as well. Okay, we have a body, an organization, which is a Nigeria Community of Ballet Teachers. Now, yes, there is a place of ballet in Nigeria. Yes, I know, yes, over time, we're not putting it together, but now we are coming together as a body to make it stand by which teachers taking international courses, examinations to be better for our kids. So it is not until when you go outside the country, you can make use of what your child can make use of what he or she is learning. I am using he because, yes, a boy dances ballet, not only girls. So it is not when he or she travels out, he or she will make use of that skill. It is also beneficial in our country, Nigeria. So we have a body putting this together, making sure that ballet stands, and we are giving the kids ballet learning. We have curriculum. They are starting from the foundation by framing their body, making sure they know how to do their turnout well. They know how to their brava, everything, and the right pronunciation. So yes, there is place for ballet in Nigeria. So let your husband know that as well. So let me, Patricia, do you have anything to say?
Okay, just to buttress what you're saying, you have actually said well. So we have a body in Nigeria that is regulating ballet in Nigeria. And beyond that, this body try as much as possible to have programs from time to time. You know, we do exchange programs like just like we're having Deborah now, we do have trainings where we have teachers in diaspora, teachers, different teachers from across the world who come into Nigeria, not just online training. So we do as much as possible to sharpen our skill as teachers so that we can give the children the best. So you said your husband was asking you. Well, that's a good question. And I believe this program is a good platform for you to have answers to answer your husband. So I'd like to just bring something. Now, I used to have a parent who actually registered a ward with us. Okay, so one of the reasons she registered her daughter was because she was a shy girl. She rarely talks. And in fact, when she's even talking to her mate, she doesn't raise her head up. You know, she was that. Like, she's not confident of herself at any point. She didn't even register her to come learn how to dance or come learn one or any other thing. Our focus was majorly for that girl to be able to be confident enough, you know, to speak and look at people in the face and not shy, even with our peers. So it was just a matter of time. We saw results, and it was worth it at the end of the day, to the point that we had the recital at that point, and we had this girl come on stage. For somebody who couldn't even look at people to talk, but was on stage where we had parents in attendance, and she was able to express herself. You know, that parent actually was the one doing recommendations to other parents. Like, this ballet is not just about dancing. You're not wasting your time when you register your kids for ballet. When you register them, you are building something in them. And I believe Deborah has already done justice to this. So well done. Over to you, Juliet.
Okay, thank you very much. Mrs. Faith, hope you're clear.
Yes, I'm clear. Thank you so much. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you for the question. Please, do we still have questions?
Juliet, just
Please
one
ask
second.
your question.
1 second.
Feel free. This is the time.
Julia, Ruben is back. Ruben is back. I think he has something to say.
Okay,
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Please, sincere apology for going out. I had a glitch in network. Okay, please, Ms. Deborah, can you help us to look at the comment section? There are parents that are also asking a few questions there. I wanted to take it up, but then I had a glitch in network, so I had to go up. So you can as well check maybe 1 or 2 questions to take up and for us to answer. But before that, I want you to help us to, you can just list out few, it could be 2 or 3. What can you become with being a ballerina, right? Later on, you want to pursue it professionally. Let's say I want to chase this professionally. At the end, am I going to end up as a dancer who dances for someone, or I don't know if you understand, professionally? I think these questions are also in parents' mind. I do not want to provide answer, but I want you to do, you have more ideas and more experience in this regard. You have traveled to different countries to perform, to teach, and all that. So I don't know if you can just quickly put a short answer to that. Thank you.
Sure. I'm happy to do that. I can combine my answer, Ruben, to what you just asked. And I saw a question on the chat about international standards and getting international exposure. And I think I can combine those two. I'll try quickly to do that. If someone wants to become a professional dancer, the first thing they need before you worry about any exposure or anything like that is the proper training. So if you as a parent want your student to become a professional dancer, or if this dancer wants to become a professional dancer, or at least just have that opportunity, have the opportunity, the very first thing that you need to do is by time they're at like 10 or 11 years old, even younger, but 10 or 11 would be the latest. Just get them in training, get them in the right training in the school. That is the beginning. And you have 3 or 4 lovely dance schools right here present who can offer you that training. And then past that, what we'll do is over the summers, dancers often attend what we call summer intensives. I don't know if that's a term that you use there, but a summer intensive is a special summer and program that's like a workshop. It's more intensive and for students to attend for 2 or 3 or 4 or even 5 weeks away from their home dance school. And if you want international exposure, the best thing you can do is when a student is, the youngest would be maybe 13 years old. When they're 8 or 9 or 10 or 11 years old, they should stay at their home school. They're too young to travel. But maybe around 13 years old, you want to look up, this is the term, summer intensives. 2 words, summer or ballet summer intensives. And they're all over, they're throughout Europe. There are hundreds throughout Europe. There are also hundreds throughout the United States. And I don't know throughout, like, if there are even at the different schools in Nigeria or different countries around that in Africa, like on the continent, if there are different countries that have summer intensives. But I know that throughout Europe, the United States, Canada, there are summer intensives, and you have to audition for those intensives. You can audition online. You can make a video, or a lot of times there'll be a Zoom audition, and the teachers teach a class and the student does it on camera like this, attends the class, and they accept only a certain number of students, and then the students travel to that school for maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks. It depends on the length of the program. And dancers, when they're 13 or 14, start to attend those so that if you're thinking of a career as a ballet dancer or just a career as a professional dancer outside of ballet, they start going to summer intensives away from home at this age. And some of these intensives do offer scholarships. Not all. I mean, it's expensive. That I want to be honest, there's the financial expense, but in order to help grow a dancer, get exposure to different teachers around the world, different students, and start to network with different people. I don't know if that's, that's create to start to meet different people in the dance community who are sometimes have a lot of power in the dance community. You travel to these to take those. And there are ballet summer intensives literally throughout the entire United States and Europe and Canada, some in Canada, although that's harder to get to. But it's hard. I know that you're a distance. I have to be honest, I'm not sure what summer intensives may be available in Nigeria, or around, countries around there. But that is the next step after being enrolled and getting the training at your home school. Then over the summers, start to visit, if it's possible for your student, audition and visit schools outside of your schools to get training from other people, to be exposed to new styles of training, to meet and network with other people in the dance community outside of your school. And that's the first thing. That is really the first thing that you do. And for those, again, you audition, and you can travel to an audition, or now most schools you can audition online. You can do a Zoom audition, or you can make a little video. They'll tell you have to look at the schools. They'll tell you what to put in the video, and you send it to the school, And that is honestly, that is the best way to start doing it when students hit their teenage years. I hope that helped answer somewhat. If not, please feel free to answer
Yes,
other
yes.
questions.
For me, it
Yeah,
does.
thank you. Thanks so
Okay.
much. That was a good one. And like I said earlier, I think a lot of these things, the dance instructors should really, take some of those steps. Like you said, there are scholarships in Europe and US, Canada, but I don't think there's a sort of ballet dance competition in Nigeria that could expose these kids into the international standard. And then if they can look up into these scholarships or competitions around the world and see what they can do, like you said, make some short videos, send them over, train these kids to that level that you as an instructor are confident that, okay, if my student is able to make this video and send it over, they're gonna get noticed, and from there they can put on the career. Which I understand that every of the information you're giving us, it's basically a Western, that works over here in the United States and Europe. And the teachers, the instructors in Nigeria needs to find something that works in that community. How they can infuse that ballet dance into the everyday activity, or the lifestyle of a Nigerian. That way the ballet can have a lot of meaning to the kids, and the parents won't be worried about spending their time and resources on those kids. Like you said, I can see here that there's a lot of scholarships that could award you $10,000, $15,000, and all that. But I believe these are something done in the Western world, Europe and United States. So the instructors, like I think one of the instructors said that they have a body. If this body can have somewhat of maybe competitions or a platform for these kids to showcase what they have learned, because we the parents, we don't dance. How do we compare what if my child is getting the proper training if they can't compete somewhere or they can't show off what they learned somewhere? Me as a parent, all I can do is cheer my baby up. Hey, you're doing great. I don't know. How do I compare how do I see the growth in that? Basically. So the instructors in Nigeria need to find a way to see how these things could be done.
Okay, thank you very, very much, Mr. Ebenezer. We,
You're
like
welcome.
Other dance school owner have said, we have a body and we have ex-coaches who are working on it. And when it comes to competition, it's happening, right? I don't know about Lagos, but here in Abuja, it's happening. My students attended a competition, I think 2 months ago. Oh, sorry, last month, if I'm correct. Yes, in the month of May, we attended the competition and it was quite great. So it's happening, it's coming, like it's spreading out, right? Thank you so much. So for the sake of time, this meeting is ending by 9:25, please. Just for the sake of time, we might only take just 1 or 2 more questions to go. Just 1 or 2 more questions. We do not have enough time. 1 or 2 questions. If you have a question, kindly unmute and introduce yourself and ask questions. Thank you. And I believe we're learning from these questions. I'm also learning as well.
May I make a suggestion, please, in reference to some of what Ebenezer was asking and saying?
Okay.
I don't know, and I just want to apologize if because I apologize for not being familiar with your system very much, you know, how things are, I'm learning as well that your system is different. So I apologize if I say something that won't work, but is it possible? I understand that you have the body, an organizational body of teachers and you're working on standards. Could you also, I know that there are 4 schools, right, in Lagos. Could the schools get together and create a performance twice a year where the people could see them perform? Or could people, and I know that you'd have to work on, I don't know how the financing works or if you can apply for grants from the government or raise money, but start very small, a small performing company where people would pay small amounts to come watch the performers. And it's a long-term project. Nothing would happen quickly. And those are, and I apologize if those suggestions sound silly from, you know, I understand with different countries and different cultures, certain things work and certain things don't work. But I don't know if those kinds of things are possible for the for some schools to get together and start either having like a recital, a performance for the parents, or even a professional performance where maybe the head of 3 or 4 schools could get together and have an audition so that people would have to audition and you can pick the best dancers. So it would be just a few from each school and put on a performance, and people have to pay to come see it. And slowly, maybe you can have a large professional ballet company. It would take a long time. I'm just saying ideas, and I know it's just ideas.
Yeah, I mean, what you said is valid. I mean, if the instructors, yeah, they're listening to you, and I believe after this section, they are gonna do 1 or 2 things. But I think they need to work more. They would have to work more with the parents who are much more interested in ballet than waiting on the government grant, which I don't think happens there. I don't think that happens there. I know that happens. It happens in the US. You can, you know, set up your stuff and see, you know, if you could get a government grant. But in Nigeria, I think all they can do is work with parents who are more passionate about this. It could be business. It could be, you know, throw it out to parents. Let them know, oh, this is what we were thinking about. Trust me, that might be parent who is much more interested in it. So that I think they can do. But waiting on the government grant, I don't think so.
Okay.
Yeah, and we don't, I'm sorry. We don't have, I mean, we don't have lots and lots. We have a little bit of government grants. I don't mean to say that it's like so easy here, but it probably is easier here. Not so much recently, but I agree that we often do.
It's easier there. It's easier there. I mean, you're not gonna get it at all in Nigeria. Nobody's gonna give you a grant to go dance.
Okay, I know I'm sure you know, and I don't. So I agree, you know, but we do have a lot. It is true. We organize parental involvement.
Right.
That is totally true. Like every school where I teach at 2 ballet schools currently, but any school I've ever taught or done master classes, they have within that school an organization of only the parents, and maybe it's only 6 or 7 parents who are the most passionate, who help the school with the planning, just because they're passionate about dance and supporting their students. Every single school here, truly, every single school I've ever taught for, even just for a master class, sometimes I go in, every school has a parent organization, and it's not all the parents at the school, so they have to be willing to do a lot of work, but who are very passionate and are willing to do the work to help the school because they are passionate about supporting their children's dreams and goals. So that's very true.
That's amazing. Thank you so much, Deborah, for this session. Someone is asking a question from the comment section. I would like to read it out. Mickey is asking, please, is there an age limit to starting ballet dancing? Most people say at a certain age, flexibility becomes hard. How true is that? Anyway, let me quickly answer, put a short answer to this. Ballet is not all about flexibility, all right? It's more about the techniques than the flexibility aspect. But I think the question of, is there age limit to starting ballet dancing? Ms. Deborah, what you do?
Whoops, I forgot, I was muted. I'm sorry. I'm really glad that what you said, Ruben, that it's true that flexibility is a part of ballet, but it is not the primary thing. The technique and the hard work are just as important as the flexibility. For starting dancing, not ballet, just dancing in general, students can start as young as 3 or 4 with creative movement. And then when they're 5 or 6, they can start to learn some fundamentals. But for learning serious ballet technique, they should be no younger than 7 or 8. But they also, you should start it at least, if you want to be a professional, you should start it by time you're 10 or 11 in order to be able to build up to a professional level in ballet. I hope that helps. So nobody should start serious ballet technique until they're 7 or 8. It's not healthy for your body because it's so demanding and it's just too much to remember. But by time, if you want, you can start ballet when you're 65 years old because you love it and it's wonderful and you do it because of a hobby and to stay in good physical health. It's very athletic. But to be a professional ballet dancer, 10, 11, 12 is the oldest that you really could be to have the time, about 8 to 10 years of training to get there. Flexibility does get harder after the ages of 12 or 13. But again, exactly, it's not the only part of ballet. The technique and the hard work and the artistry, honestly, learning the artistry and learning to express movement to the music is just as important as the flexibility.
All right, thank you very much. Any more questions?
Yes.
Unmute. If you have a question, please unmute and let's introduce yourself and let's hear you.
I have a question.
Oh, okay. What's your question? Introduce yourself. What's your name?
My name is Above. I'm from Abuja. My sister attends Goodness Ballet Dance Academy.
This is amazing.
My question is, what are the opportunities ballet students have in Nigeria? Ballet dancers have in Nigeria, the opportunities they have.
Okay. Let me quickly put an answer to this. There are several opportunities, okay? If you're talking about education, we have Ms. Deborah has answered this question already, right? I often tell my students that ballerinas are stars, okay? They are stars in the making. So you have to first of all see yourself as a star. Do not see yourself as ordinary. If you're there with me, Abu, if you do not see yourself as ordinary, and then take your trainings serious. Do you understand? Take your training serious, and by the time you get to a certain level, there will be opportunities for you to go for competitions, go for auditions, go for performances. Are you with me? All right. You have to get to a certain level before you can be able to go for competitions and all that. And before you know it, more opportunities will start opening up for you, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I hope that's clear enough.
Yeah, it's clear. Fine.
Okay. You're welcome. All right, just the last question, and then we'll call it. Dr. Coco, are you asking a question, ma?
Did you say Dr. Coco? I'm so sorry.
No problems, man, no problems. Please, there were parents that were asking questions from the comment section and I was unable to read before I had network glitches the other time. Please, if you're here, I think one of my parents is here. Mommy Bernice, please, you ask something like, I don't know how you put it. Can you unmute and ask the question appropriately so that Ms. Deborah can put an answer to it? And also, Mommy Goma too. I could not read the question. Please unmute and ask your questions. You're here. Unmute and ask your questions quickly so that we can wrap up. Okay, so we all agree there is no questions? No questions? Oh, okay, okay.
Hello.
Yes, good evening.
Yes, good evening, Mr. Ruben, and good evening to the entire team.
Thank you so much, sir.
Yes, our question though, yes, there is a part response where my wife already typed a question in the group.
Okay.
Yeah, I think basically the answer is just basically about what is the prospect of a ballerina in Nigeria. That's just it.
Okay, and you said the question was already answered, sir?
Yes.
Okay.
Just basically on the prospect of a ballerina in Nigeria.
Where's Mr.
Did you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I can hear you. I'm trying to, Ms. Patricia, are you there?
I'm here.
Okay, please, do you have an answer to that?
So please, what's the question again? Sorry, please.
So what is the prospect of a ballerina in Nigeria? What are the what's the prospect of a ballet student in Nigeria? Just a simple term.
Well, the prospect actually much because there are opportunities everywhere. Once a child is ready, passionate about ballerina, it's just like when they say opportunity means preparation. So once the child is ready, they love enormous opportunity. Okay, so we've had opportunities. I'll take a very good example of the story of Anthony. That's the kid from Leap of Dance Academy. I think it was during at the latter end of COVID. You know, it was just a normal rehearsal they were having under the rain, and the video went viral. And today the boy has gotten the scholarship. He's out of Nigeria and he's doing well with his dancing career. Now, that's the prospect. What if that opportunity had come, the boy wasn't ready for it? There's no way he would have gotten that opportunity. So aside that, so there are competitions here and there. Yeah, my fellow instructors here would agree with me that once we have a competition, we don't want, not all the students can represent us, not because they are not good enough, but because we have to see those who are more passionate, who have been consistent, who are able to represent, not because the other kids can't represent, probably because they are not ready at that point in time. They're still going through training. So having ready is enough already. Once the child is interested in ballet and is doing well, there are a lot of prospects. And you never can tell. I've had a parent who told me that my child said she wants to be a ballerina and the cook, you know, that at some point it took me off. But really, that child wants to be a dancer and a cook. So, but if you look at it, it seems very, very different. But at that point in time, the child knows what she wants. So she's doing ballet on the side. If an opportunity comes, the child takes it in terms of ballet. If an opportunity comes in terms of cooking, maybe a competition or something for their age range, she goes for it. So there are enormous prospects, aside the fact that it's, we've highlighted a lot of benefits of dance in the life of a child.
Okay.
It's enormous, yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. You really did justice to so many. All right, we are actually out of time, and this is where we're going to end this session. So I'm going to hand over to Ms. Patricia to just give us a closing remarks. And then kindly be aware that this is a recording session, and at the end of the meeting, we would find a way to get the links, right? We'll prepare the links for the recording for those that were not present. And also, if you want to refresh your memory, refresh your minds concerning the questions, the topics we talked about, to make some understanding, do some more research, the link will be available latest tomorrow night. So you can all come on and rewatch. Thank you very much. Ms. Patricia, over to you.
Okay, so I'd like to say a huge thank you to Miss Deborah Engerman. We appreciate your time. You did justice to the topic. You know, I learned a lot today, and I'm sure that our fellow colleagues also did the same thing. I'm so inspired. Like, I learned a lot. I know that Ballet does a lot because of the few research I have done, but then you have used your wealth of experience to add to my knowledge. And the most important thing here today is the fact that you answered a lot of questions which our parents are here and they actually heard you. And that gives me joy, because oftentimes we take our time to explain to parents, and because in this part of the world, people, it's not their fault actually. My parents are also guilty. We take academy as in education, your normal classwork activities, academy, more serious than any other vocational or extra activities. So I'd like to say a very big thank you for coming on the program today, for taking your time to do justice to the topic. And I also like to appreciate our parents from different academy, from Goodness Ballet Academy, Abuja, from Shabak Music and Dance Academy, Port Harcourt, from Ultra Best Dance School, Lagos, and of course from my academy, Party Expressions Academy. So I'd like to say a big thank you also to all the teachers who actually attended this program. Thank you for your time, and we look forward to doing this as often as possible to further broaden our knowledge in terms of dance. I want to say thank you, because dance in Nigeria is actually growing, and we thank God for people like you who have decided to come on the program to, to share more light and educate us further. Thank you very, very much. And before I go, I'd like to say a very big thank you to Goodness Ballet, Goodness Dance Academy, Abuja. Thank you very much for putting this together. Thank you for getting other dance group to team up with you. This is a fantastic program, and this is like the second one. The first one was just with Party Expressions, and this is bigger and more inspiring. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. Ms. Deborah, you're amazing. The way you answer questions, I am amazed, and I'm learning. I thought I was a teacher, but I think I'm actually learning more and more. It was just so easy. You were able to combine three questions, like three questions together in one answer. You were able to give just one answer. Answer three questions. Like, it was just,
yeah.
It was mind blowing. Thank you so much, and thank you to all our participants. We appreciate you. Those that asked questions, we all appreciate you. Thank you so much, and we look forward to doing this more and more again. Thank you, and do have a beautiful night rest wherever you are, and a lovely day in your location as well. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone, for being so supportive, and thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you so much.
Thank you, Ma.